kids missing just sickens my mood. Now I got an attitude, you think I won't battle fool? I will slap the fuck out of you. Maybe I am a radical, I'm charged up with a matador. You don't love the kids, why do you got them for? I tell the truth, how they got out the door. These cases I can't ignore. You damn right, I want your face on the floor. We lacking info pimping, I'ma need more. See, it's the truth that we want. You're supposed to love your kid, the truth is you don't. Somebody bring them parents up to the front. Them kids been missing for months. Damn right I'm mad, pimp, I done had enough. Oh, my business, bitch, I don't give a fuck. I might just tear this shit up. Now we got summer, we got horse, and we got on. Like the parents, they don't care. I'm like, what the fuck you doing? All of the YouTubers pursuing, they do more than what you doing. Now how the fuck you gonna influence? Your reputation done been ruined. Why? Oh, why they taking these kids? I'm so sick of this shit. Why? Remember that kid they left in the car? Sydney Dill, she had a bum for a father. Nick Posadas, Nevada. Just break the window, but he wouldn't even bother. He making kids, now that's really a problem. What about that fella Kawan? The lady picked him up was a mom. Now Kawan was a friend with a son. I can't believe what they done. They found his body in the sugar cane field. Now his parents gotta shed some real tears. This ain't how the fuck we supposed to live. If you got a kid, show them that you love them. Cause they leaving on the dub, protect them. Gotta keep them covered. Cause there's some evil motherfuckers plotting, waiting just to touch them. Don't you think this shit is nuts? They taking kids out by the dozen. It's so many living in your city limits. If you think that they offended, that mean you think this again. It only take a single man. Evaluate the way you live. This was a blessing you was given. It's gonna hit you different if your child just end up missing. Why they taking these kids? I'm so sick of this shit. Why they taking these kids? I'm so sick of this shit. Why they taking these kids? I'm so sick of this shit. Why? What's going on? What's going on? Welcome in. I don't expect for a lot of people being here tonight because this is a spur of the moment type live. But just some things that I was thinking about as I was just putting up my latest video on Cody Bigsby. What's going on, Double R? And anybody else that's in the bushes that hasn't spoke or typed in the chat, welcome in. Thank you for tuning in. This is Community Crime Network. And I'm going to call this show The Missing, point blank period. Because it just seems to be a common theme that we're seeing on a daily basis. I don't know if it's because I'm in the true crime community and these are the things that I follow. I don't just follow just missing kids. I follow any case. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just noticing something. But I'm going to go ahead and play this video, which I just uploaded to my channel. And if you haven't, please subscribe to my channel. I definitely make sure I put up good content. And I do follow up on every case that I work. Now, all the videos that I put on my channel are not cases that I work. I'm just providing stories to you just in case you didn't know about them. But if there's any stories that you would like for me to look into, if you can, Double R, drop my email address in the chat and send me an email, and I'll definitely do that. But let's take a look at this video real quick. This is Cody Bigsby. This is a case I've been following for day one. It's just not a lot of information. So let's get to it.
milestone that nobody ever wanted to see. It has been 200 days since 4-year-old boy vanished from his home in Hampton, and to this day, nobody has been charged with a crime in the disappearance of Cody Bigsby. Prosecutors presume the worst, but that has not dimmed the hope for a different outcome. 10 Your Side's Brett Hall is at the spot where the community continues to gather in his name.
Tom, we're at the Buckrow soccer fields tonight, but this has now become known as Cody's Fence. It's in the view of the Buckrow Point apartments and townhomes, and that is where Corey Bigsby, Cody's father, reported him missing on January 30th. Tonight, 30 people came here again tonight with hope that one day they will receive some positive news. It's hard to believe. It's been 200 days.
This child is still missing, and we will continue on to bring out his name.
Especially when you ask those who have followed every development, praying that with each day,
that he will return home safe.
The 4-year-old was reported missing by his father, Corey Bigsby, on the last day of January. In the weeks that followed, searches occurred by law enforcement and community members, only to turn up nothing. Corey, he remains behind bars, facing several counts of child neglect. Police naming him the only person of interest in Cody's disappearance. While the legal process plays out, Joan Lyons continues to hope for justice.
Grabbed me in my heart. Yep.
She never knew Cody or Corey, but knows no child deserves this.
But I'm just full of emotion with a missing child, because it's a child, an innocent child that adults are supposed to take care of these children, and they're helpless. And so it's really, and I'm a local Hampton citizen, so this is my neighborhood.
And this makes her proud of her community, knowing so many people still care.
Gone for 200 days is, you know, it's difficult.
Councilman Chris Bowman says he knows people of Hampton have a lot of heart. He says, make no mistake, finding out what happened to Cody, one way or another, continues to be a priority.
We've done the best job that we can do, and we're going to continue to pursue it.
Corey Bigsby is set to go on trial for those unrelated child neglect charges sometime this fall.
Tonight, the community will come together again to honor and support Cody and his siblings.
Casey Baylor is live with us in Hampton. And Casey, tonight's gathering will be solemn, no doubt, but also one of solidarity.
Right, Dan. They want to bring the community together to light candles here in what the community has deemed the Cody Fence. Taking a look right behind me, you can see many toys, signs, and other items here to bring Cody home, and a reminder that Cody Bigsby is still missing. And now you can see this big sign seeking justice for Cody and his siblings. Now, this vigil is put on by United We Stand of Hampton Roads. The group has started searches in the area to find any trace of Cody. Now the organization is rallying the community to focus efforts back on finding the missing boy. The head of the group wants this to be a reminder to bring Cody home.
We're going to continue on canvassing, bringing the word out to let everybody know that this child is still out here missing, and we're going to continue on searching until the community finds answers, until we find answers, until we figure out what's going on with this child.
That was Cody Bigsby. It's a case I've been following for a while. As you heard in the video, he's been missing for 200 days. And the updates that we tend to get nowadays is just how long that they've been missing. What's up, Jizzle? What's going on, man? Appreciate you for tuning in. You know, I've been following several cases. I've been following this case by this young lady named Kyla Williams. She went missing back, I want to say back in late November, early December of last year. The last update they had on that particular case was like December the 21st. They have no updates in 2022. That type of stuff bothers me, man. And I'm gonna tell you why. Give me a second. I'm looking for my next video I want to play as well, because I want you to just pay attention to where I'm going with this, and I want to get your opinions and what you think what's going on in this world that we live in. Is it the fact that it's in our face, that it seems like none of these kids are being found? Because out of every case I'm working right now or I'm interested in or following up on, excuse me, there's nothing. It's nothing. They have no information, no updates at all. And if you think about it, if you're one of these sick, which I hope none of y'all are in my chat, one of these sick motherfuckers that do this type of stuff to kids, and you're looking at the news and realizing, God damn, they ain't finding none of these kids. I might can get away with it too. You feel what I'm saying? Or is it something more sinister that maybe we just don't even know? Let's take a look at the next video. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. But before we get started, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel so you get a notification every time I go live or drop a video. I appreciate it.
I just feel that we just need to know who he is and where he come from and to get some closure.
Stuffed animals, toys, and flowers for a child who hasn't been identified.
He came from somewhere and he ended up in a suitcase in the woods. That's not, I don't even have a word for what that is.
Here at Crown Hill Cemetery in Salem, Indiana, a tombstone in loving memory of a beloved little boy known but to God. But just who that child is and why he was found dead in a suitcase in Washington County remains a mystery.
We want to do this, prayer thing for him for justice because we feel that he deserves justice.
Janet Irk and Yvonne Casey, a mother and daughter, live in this community and have helped organize prayers and vigils.
Where does the case stand 3 months later?
Like any investigation, our detectives are very active, looking every angle that they can. So we're still looking, for some of those answers as far as if somebody has information about a possible, this child could be this person they haven't seen in a while, to give us that call.
Police say they've checked the national database for missing children, but so far there have been no matches to the child believed to be 5 years old.
Most of those tips, again, as it was early on, related to a missing child from Virginia, which we've already said, Cody Bigsby, a very tragic, case there where he's still missing, and it's been shown, and we've said publicly that it's not Cody Bigsby. That's still the #1 call that comes in.
And we will not be quiet until eventually we get answers. If the case doesn't go cold, we've got a better chance.
Here's a look at the case so far. On April 16th, police say a man who was mushroom hunting found the body of a boy in a wooded, secluded area in Washington County that evening. about 80 feet off a rural road near New Pekin. The next day, on April 17th, police released information in the case and asked for help identifying the child or his parents. On April 18th, ISP announced a dedicated tip line for information. April 19th, police released that the 5-year-old's body was found inside this suitcase, hoping someone would recognize it. The suitcase is in good condition with Las Vegas logos wrapped around it. April 24th, people living in New Pekin came together for a vigil to show their support, hoping and praying his case will be solved. May 28th, police say the child died from an electrolyte imbalance, most likely due to vomiting and diarrhea, leading to dehydration. Police say he was found clean and clothed, and there is no indication he was placed in the suitcase alive. June 1st, donations helped pay for this funeral at Crown Hill Cemetery, where the child was buried.
We're glad that the community has come together to support us and to stand behind this child and bring justice for him.
On Saturday, July 23rd, a prayer for justice will be held at 7 p.m. at the cemetery at the Unknown Angels gravesite.
It touches my heart really bad, and we're not going to stop, but we will never forget him. And I just want everybody to remember this little boy.
Now, that particular case, we don't even have a name. They found the kid in a suitcase. They don't know who the kid belonged to. And of course, when I put this video up, it was 3 months since they found him. This type of stuff, like, is crazy. And it could be the fact that now with social media, everything is out in the open. Understand that. We can see a lot. But me personally, I just feel like it's something sinister. I'm with you on that, Double Rainbow. I think it's something sinister that's going on that's bigger than what we will ever even know. And it's not just kids. It's not just kids. It's an adults too. And I have to be honest, it's not just black. It's several races. You know, because you want to say, okay, maybe they just trying to get rid of a particular race. If you was to say that, I would understand why you say that. But nah. I got another case I'm going to show y'all in a second. I don't know what color that, I guess he is black, excuse me. Let's take a look at this one right here. I'm pretty sure y'all are familiar with this one. If you're not, I don't know where you've been, but this is one big case that it bothers me. This is the case of Alexis. Alexis Well. Check it out.
Young woman from South Carolina. Alexis Ware is a mother of two who vanished just before her 30th birthday, and no one can figure out why. Alexis was last seen at a gas station just outside of Greenville, South Carolina. Her car later found about an hour away. That was 3 months ago, and there has been no sign of her since. Correspondent Janelle Ford is live from outside that 7-Eleven tonight. That was Alexis's last known location. Janelle, the family told you that something seemed off with Alexis before she went missing. What more did they share?
Yeah, Marnie, they said that she wasn't acting like her normal self. She wasn't excited for her upcoming 30th birthday. At one point, telling them that she wasn't sure if she'd even make it to the milestone, and alluding that someone may have been following her.
As Travis Ware scrolls through pictures of his big sister Alexis,
He says he can't help but think back to the days leading up to her disappearance.
She kept thinking that she wasn't going to make it to her 30th birthday.
Then, a series of concerning Facebook posts.
They were kind of not her norm, but eventually they were deleted.
Unusual behavior for the aspiring social media model known for her style and big personality.
Alexis is the life of the party.
Which is why Travis is still so puzzled by what happened on January 30th. That afternoon, Alexis met up with her son's father at the 7-Eleven off Highway 29 in Anderson, South Carolina, about 30 minutes from her home in Greenville. There, he buys her gas, and then Alexis loads their 2-year-old son and her 9-year-old daughter in his car, all captured on surveillance video not yet publicly released. Travis says investigators let him watch it and nothing looks out of the ordinary until after the two drive off. Alexis starts following her son's father to another location, but then abruptly speeds off. Then she vanishes. The next day, worry, her phone is going to voicemail and no one can reach her. Another day passes and the family files a missing person report with the Anderson County Sheriff's Office. Then, a few days after that, the only real clue, Alexis's bright red Honda found muddied in McCormick, South Carolina, a small rural town a little over an hour from Anderson. Inside the car, her cell phone, wallet, keys, and a bag full of clothes in the trunk. Was there a reason that she might have made that trip?
No, my sister doesn't know anyone in McCormick. She doesn't have any relatives. We don't have any relatives there. She doesn't have any friends there in McCormick. So that threw me off.
With the discovery came a multi-agency search. Law enforcement canvassing more than 200 acres of land, looking for any sign of the missing mom.
From what I can gather, they did K9 tracks down there. They flew the area down there with aviation.
Sergeant J.T. Foster with Anderson County Sheriff's Office says they've also collected cell phone records, GPS data, and interviewed family, friends, and associates.
We checked with the hospitals, local detention centers, the coroner's office to make sure there's not been nobody that's not been identified yet. You didn't check with TSA for flights to make sure that she didn't leave the country.
But nothing. It's almost as if Alexis vanished into thin air.
We're about 3 months, almost exactly 3 months since her disappearance. Are there any clear leads?
Not that I'm aware of.
The case puzzling for both investigators and Alexis's loved ones.
Would you have gone this long without getting in contact with you all?
No, not at all. One, she loved her kids. She's not going to go a day without speaking to her kids. She's not going to go a day without seeing her kids. My sister loves social media. She's not going to go a day, a few hours, a few minutes off of Facebook or Instagram.
But Travis says while the outcome may look grim, he's still holding out hope he'll be reunited with his big sis.
I have hope. I have faith. I have faith. And I'm not going to give up.
And Marnie, Travis tells me that the family is now offering $5,000 for any information leading to Alexis's whereabouts.
You're right, Janelle. I mean, just vanished into thin air, it appears. You know, I saw that picture of Alexis with her kids. They're just beautiful, sweet babies. Where are those kids tonight? Who's watching out for them?
Well, Marty, they're with Alexis's mom, so their grandmother. And, you know, you have to think about it this way. The son is 2 years old. He's still not really grasping what's going on, but the 9-year-old is starting to ask questions about where his mom is, or her mom is, excuse me.
Right, yeah, of course. The other thing, Janelle, that stood out to me, the father was there when they kind of did the kids swap at that 7-Eleven, the father of her son. Is he a suspect? Is he a person of interest? What's his story?
Not at this point. Investigators say that everything that he's told them thus far is checked out. He called them, told them that Alexis had sped off after that meeting. He called her mom and said that he couldn't get in contact with her. They checked his alibis for the following day. Everything checked out at this point.
So that was the case of Alexis Ware, an adult. You see what I'm saying? So it's not just kids that's going missing. What's up, K Money? Appreciate you for sliding through. YJ, I seen you comment and I responded, and I know that is the case sometimes, a lot of times, to be honest with you. You say, would it involve innocent kids? I often think crimes of passion, kids caught in a dispute. And that do be the case, because when you get these alerts to your phone, these Amber Alerts, 9 times out of 10, well, I ain't gonna say 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna say the majority of the time, the kid is with a parent who didn't supposed to have the kid. And we know that. But like I said in the chat, these cases that I've been following, a lot of the kids are in the home with both parents. So I don't think these cases are crime of passion, because they're with both parents. The fact that I think it's something more deeper or more sinister, if that's the case, that means both parents are involved with a third party that's bigger than us. You feel what I'm saying? But that's just a theory. That's just a thought in my mind. I can't put no proof on it. Of course, if we could, they wouldn't do it, or they would change routes in what they're trying to do. But like I said, it's different races that's dealing with the same thing. So I can't really say just black kids going up missing. I can't say that. I'd be lying. It's one kid who actually went missing, and I'm gonna show you this video, and then we'll talk a little bit. I might have a guest come up here with me in a second. I've been following this case for a long time. And the way this young lady went missing will blow your mind. Because if you follow the Kenneka Jenkins case, you remember when Monifa came back out the hallway where Kenneka was at and then went inside and said, "Hey, Kenneka's missing." Wait a fucking minute. You was just out there with her. What the fuck you mean she missing? Where the fuck did she go? Did she disappear in front of your face? That's what their story remind me of. I'm gonna just play this video real quick and we'll chat a little bit about it. But these people got charged with crimes that was, guess, similar or somewhat attached to the kid going missing, but it was negligence to the other kids. And I noticed that's a cycle too in about 3 or 4 cases that I've been working. They can't catch you on why this kid went missing, but you neglected the other kids and they found out proof about that. But they can't find your other kid. It's just weird to me, man. Excuse me if you ain't following me, but something just ain't right with this shit, man. It just ain't right. So let's take a look at this one and I'll be right back. This is Oakley Carlson. Skip all my intros. We done seen these intros. So let's go straight to the video.
Father of a missing Grays Harbor County girl was just released from jail a few hours ago. His daughter, 5-year-old Oakley Carlson, has been missing since February of last year. Andrew Carlson's been in jail since December on charges unrelated to his missing daughter's case.
King 5's Kayla Lafferty joins us now from Grays Harbor County, outside the county jail where Carlson was released hours ago. What do we know this morning, Kayla?
Well, Jake, Mimi, Oakley's father, Andrew Carlson, was released from jail here in Grays Harbor County just after 1 this morning. He was serving a sentence for child endangerment, which he pled guilty to those charges back in March. But the endangerment charges, as we mentioned, were not related to Oakley's disappearance. Carlson was charged after his other children, Oakley's siblings, were found to have had what investigators called extremely high levels of methamphetamine in their system, suggesting they had either been exposed to meth or may have even ingested it. He was sentenced to a year in prison back in March, but had no previous criminal history, making him eligible for early release. Oakley's mother, Jordan Bowers, is also in jail on child endangerment charges. She is due to be released next January. Now, we spoke with Oakley's former foster mother, Jamie Jo Hiles, this morning. She came to the jail here and stood outside after she found out about the release. She said her thoughts are with Oakley today, as well as with the other victims, her siblings, in this child endangerment case.
I'm hurt for her siblings because that's a lot of trauma, and the time that Jordan and Andrew are going to serve in jail and prison is so short in comparison to the lifelong trauma that these kids are going to feel. And that's where I'm angry, and that's where I don't think that Andrew should have gotten out today.
A writ of habeas corpus was filed with State Attorney General Bob Ferguson to try and, in the hopes of getting Andrew Carlson in front of a judge for Oakley's case and to try and keep him behind bars until they get some answers. But as of this morning, there has been no response from the Attorney General on that. But for now, live in Grays Harbor County, Kayla Lafferty, King 5 News.
All right, so that's Oakley Carlson. I showed that video because the father and the mother has been charged, of course, with neglect when it comes to the other kids. Yeah, they meth heads. But the crazy thing about this is that the father is a former police officer. That makes it even worse. But to give you a quick rundown on this story, and a lot of these stories happened last year, late last year, around November or December. A lot of them. That made me think about something. But anyway, originally they lost custody of Oakley. She went to her adopted parents, which y'all just saw. They took the kids from them, and well, not took them. I guess they felt like the biological parents were ready to get them back, which I don't know how they came to that conclusion. But when they got them back, you know, it was, I think, 2019, 20, something like that. I ain't good with the dates. But November of last year, you know, after, you know, CPS was notified by a school teacher because her daughter, and as a matter of fact, I believe it was a principal or a teacher, I can't remember. Her daughter came and told her mom that Oakley's sister told her that she was eaten by wolves. What kind of shit is that? So that sparked the investigation. Police went in and talked to the parents to find out what's going on. The parents say the last time they seen Oakley was November the 30th. That's all they told them. It ain't no, well, what was she doing when you saw her? Or where did she go? Nothing. That's all they told them. Now you see why I say it remind me of when Monifa said, oh, she's gone. Bitch, you was just out there with her. So if you gonna tell me the last time you seen her was November the 30th, then what the fuck were you doing when you seen her? What happened? Why did she disappear? I don't know. The fuck you mean you don't know? Come on, man. Like, they sentenced the father, they sentenced the mother. Of course, like you heard, he got early release. I think that got something to do with him being a former cop, but I could be wrong. The mother will be out in January. So he done did his little sentence for the negligence of the other kids, and they still haven't found this little girl. Something's wrong with that picture. Now, I'm pretty sure the mother probably get out, and they still probably haven't found her. I don't know what's, excuse me, I don't know what's going on, but these kids got to be somewhere. And if you have any idea of what's going on or any theories or maybe the information you have that I don't, share it in the chat or the link is in the chat. You can come up here with me, that's fine. But it's scary that people can go missing and never be found. And never be found. That's the scary part. All right, y'all, I want to bring up my homie who slid through the back door on me. Y'all welcome 54 Keys. What's going
Hey,
on,
what's going on,
54?
I'm like, what you got going on over here?
Man, I'm just going over these cases and trying to figure out why a lot of these people can't be found. Why they
Right.
can't solve these cases. It's scary because these criminals who's lurking the streets, they feel safe.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
They do. They do. They do.
shit, I done
And,
seen
and
about
so
30
that one,
cases.
that one case you just showed, how old was that little girl?
Oakley,
Yeah.
I believe she was 5.
Oh man.
Let me double check because I might be wrong. Yes, I believe she's 5. She could be 3. Hold on. I work so many cases I can't even remember the ages. Oakley, let's see. Yeah, she's 5. She's 5.
Oh wow. And the parents is talking about they don't know what happened. They just talking about the last time they seen her was November the 30th.
That's exactly what they said. I read that news article and several news articles that followed because some news stations be putting out incorrect information, and that's the only thing that was said. So like, if you are an officer and you're investigating me and I tell you some shit like that, what would be your response?
I mean, how is that possible? I think for me, we're not talking about a kid who's old enough to even be outside on their own, for real. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
We're not talking about a 12, 13-year-old. I mean, when you start talking 5, I mean, somebody knows something. You can't tell me you don't know where this baby is.
Right.
You can't. You can't. And I think in situations like that, the police will try to find anything to hold you. Because I heard you say that they were locked up for child endangerment or something like that.
Yeah, you can say it, negligence, because they was meth heads and they found meth in the other kids' system.
Oh, okay.
So they locked them up for that. You know what I'm saying? Child endangerment and all that. So
And nobody has seen this little girl since.
And to be honest with you, that was November the 30th is when the last time they say they saw her. But they have no evidence that she was actually seen any time in 2021. The last time she was seen by somebody other than her parents was the end of 2020. And that was by the grandparents.
So they don't know when she's been. They don't know how long she's been.
Idea. No
They don't
idea.
know. They don't know. And it reminds me of the Cow City boys.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And I just, like I said, I don't understand how that's possible when you're talking about a 5-year-old.
But think about it. We all knew, when speaking of the Cow City boys, that Buddy was lying when he did that first interview.
Absolutely.
We knew it.
Absolutely.
We knew it.
Absolutely. Wait a minute, I'm be honest with you. I was like, that nigga up to something.
For real. But it took over a year for them to say, you know what? And I understand that they can't convict no one without sufficient evidence that something went wrong and they're lying. You know what I'm saying? So I think they finally got up enough evidence where they can arrest them. But damn, did it take a whole fucking year for you to figure that shit out?
Right. But
We figured that shit out on day one.
Yeah, we knew it. But you know how they move. They had to gather. They had to gather what they could to put the bigger picture together. Because even though, coming through the door, we was like, nah, something's not right with this.
Right.
We didn't have all the details. So,
Right.
you gotta give them time to get the details.
Okay, so they got the same details we got when the neighbor sent them his surveillance footage. And we seen 4 people.
Right.
Not 6. like they said. You know what I'm saying? Get in that van. And we only saw who? 2 come back?
Right.
That mean, where's Orson and Owen? Right then and there, I would have arrested their ass. Y'all lying. Because I actually seen the news when the Cal City chief of police even said it. We only seen such and such came back. Okay, so you know they fucking lying.
Right. But you got to think too. It wasn't enough. I mean, can you imagine going into court and you telling the judge all you have is the fact that, you know, some kids left on the trip, not everybody came back. Like, that is just not enough. It's not enough.
So what do they do when they catch you in the lie? Now, they got you in this interrogation room.
Stay
and
on
they
your
catch
ass.
you in the lie. What do they do to you? They will drill your ass until you break.
Yeah.
They didn't do that to them for some reason.
I think in that particular case, I think, you know, they were in cahoots. The husband and wife were in cahoots. So shit, it was like, make sure you stay the course. You know, keep the narrative. And I feel like they did a good job doing that. Even though a lot of us in the beginning seen through it, you know.
Right.
But you know, as far as police goes, you know, they got to build a case. You got to give them time to get the details.
Right, I understand that. Now I will say, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you good. Go ahead.
Okay, I was about to say that little girl you were talking about. And what was her name again? I'm sorry.
Oakley.
Oakley. Okay, Oakley. So you said her siblings had meth in their system. Did I hear that correctly?
Yep, you heard that correctly.
Wow.
Yep.
So if that was the case for them, I would think that's the same case for her, and maybe she died behind that. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
look at you. Look at you. that's why you're 54.
You know what I mean? Like, if the other kids have that in their system, why would I think Oakley did? You understand what I'm saying? Like, and maybe she, you know, her demise came behind that, and so they had to hide her. And normally that's what you see a lot, you know, especially when it comes to these parents. Something goes terribly wrong. It may have been unintentional, and they panic. And so then it's kind of like, you know, we got to get rid of the body. You know, your mind started to go to the left just to save your own ass.
Right.
You know?
Well, yeah, you got a point. I think I had this discussion with my baby mama the other day. And we were just talking about this situation that happened in Brunswick when this lady hit this guy doing like 90 on the causeway and killed him, but she left the scene. And it was a rumor around that she was chasing him because that was a guy she was messing with. But she's married, but she was chasing him because she found out he was messing with somebody, but we can't have proof. And I told my baby mama, I said, why she left the scene? And she said the same shit you just said. It's like, baby, she panicked. Panicked my ass. You see how bad that accident was. This man is in a tree. So it's like, did you really panic? Or are you just trying to cover up some bullshit that you know you're guilty of?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah. I think it's definitely a big difference between panicking than you know you fucked up.
Right. I get that. But I think for me, especially in situations like that, I feel like it's one and the same. You know, because when we panic, you know, we're liable to do anything when we panic. But especially when you're causing a situation where someone has lost their life, panic is in there. It is. But I think it kind of goes hand in hand with the cover your ass mode. You know.
Okay, I can dig that.
You know what I mean? I think it kind of goes hand in hand. Because like I said, sometimes the end result is not intentional. You understand what I'm saying? So it was like, I didn't mean to do this. I didn't see this being a possibility as to what could happen. And now you didn't realize, when it sinks in, when you realize like, oh my God, somebody has lost their life on the back end of some shit that I created.
Right.
I'm a panic. And I think that comes into play when you're dealing with somebody where, it may not have been intentional. Like maybe I just wanted to scare this guy, or, it just, and it went left. It went bad,
I think with me, I'm a logical thinker, especially when the fact that I follow true crime is like, if I run, I know I'm scared because I made a mistake. I didn't mean to do this. But don't you know that's the difference between probably first-degree murder and manslaughter?
Right. I feel that.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Absolutely.
if you make a mistake, they're not going to charge you with murder. They're going to charge you with manslaughter. They'll probably give you 10, 15 years. But if you run,
it's like you look guilty.
You look guilty as hell, and now that you done added more shit to your you done added more charges for one. So I think that's just me how I think.
I mean, yeah, and I definitely I can see that. I can see that because it does make you look guilty when you run.
Right.
But but like I said, I just think when some people panic, we react differently.
True. So let me ask you this, because I had this conversation with a homie, but it goes hand in hand with this. Do you see the difference between being arrogant and confident? Or you think it's the same thing? Or you think they go hand in hand? I'm gonna say cocky and confident. Are they different? I feel they different. Yeah, one is totally different from me, but my homeboy had to argue with me about this for about 30 minutes.
I mean, because I just feel like being confident and then being arrogant is like a way of showing your confidence. You understand? It's like an angle to the confident level. Because I may say some things because I'm very confident in what I got going on. And it may sound arrogant, but that's not like that wasn't my intention. I'm stating facts. You understand what I'm saying? So it may sound arrogant, but it's just really confidence. So I just really think that it's just another angle to being confident. So it may appear to be cocky, it may appear to be arrogant, but it's just a high level of confidence.
I think when you're arrogant, you're belittling the person that you're talking to.
Right. Okay. I agree with that. Okay. I got it. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I want you to check out this one here. I don't know if you've seen this case, but this is a little boy that they found in the washing machine. And I'm still waiting on the autopsy.
I remember.
think it's been about 3 weeks. So I think the most it takes is 6 weeks. So that's what I'm waiting on. So I'm going to let you check this one out.
Yeah, and Daniela, those details slow coming, but within the past 15 minutes, as we were standing by here to go live, a Precinct 4 deputy constable duty vehicle pulled up here. Out of the back car was a man escorted up to the front door of this home. I walked up and asked him if he had any relation to the young man who was found dead here in the washing machine this morning. He did say that he was that boy's adopted father. We asked him what happened, and he says all he knows is that he got home last night after midnight. When he put his key in the door to open it, he says the door was unlocked.
It was early in the morning. There was no indication that the door had been open or window open.
They couldn't find that boy Troy until this morning when they found his body in a washing machine. His is the face of a boy who had life to live. Yet, for reasons officials have yet to say, 7-year-old Troy Kohler was found dead this morning in a washing machine. How Troy wound up there, in what condition, how'd he die? 3 questions among a torrent of queries, each of them centered on why.
Just don't know how it happened.
Brian DeBon lives down the street. He and others awoke to the crime scene on Rosegate Drive's 4400 block. The Harris County Sheriff's Office says Troy was reported missing this morning until he was found in the washer in the home's garage.
It was early in the morning. There was no indication that the door had been open or window open.
Troy's adopted mother, emotional as Precinct 4 deputy constables escorted her. Both she and Troy's adopted father questioned by investigators. But tonight, whatever answers may be, linger. The Department of Family and Protective Services confirmed the couple adopted Troy in 2019. Awful does not put this in its proper context. Again, minutes ago, we spoke to the man who said that he is the adopted father of Troy. When I asked him what happened, he said he doesn't know, again, other than the fact that when he got home last night, the door was unlocked. There is an investigation underway tonight into what happened. The last words for the father tonight to me, I just want to know where my wife is.
They're now interviewing both his mother and father.
So that we can figure out what's going on here.
Just like the second or third video I did on it, but of course Troy was home with his mom. Of course the father, I got another video with the time that the father said he got home, which he told 3 different times, but they all linger around the midnight time. Once he said 15 minutes before, he said 11:45, he said around 12, then he said after 12. But one thing that stood out to me in his story was he said when he got home, he was looking for his wife. You don't say that unless she was not in the damn house.
She wasn't there.
You know what I'm saying? Now, when he stated that when I got home and stuck my key in the door, it was already unlocked.
Yes.
Now, that could be true, or he could be, I'm finna eliminate myself, or add a possibility, that somebody came in this goddamn house.
Right, that's right.
You know what I'm saying? I feel the fact that he keeps saying, I want to know where my wife is, that's when he got back. So I'm assuming she was still at the damn precinct. They interrogating the shit out of her because they both went down at the same time. He came home before her and she still wasn't there. I feel that mother knew exactly what happened to that little boy.
That's what that sounds like to me.
And he trying to clear himself like, I ain't had shit to do with this.
Yeah, I don't know nothing. Yeah, I don't know nothing about nothing. Yeah,
You
I
know
don't know
what I'm
nothing about
saying?
nothing. Yeah.
But again, they go adopt a kid and man, listen, I already prepared myself for them to say, or waiting for the news to say he was autistic or he was this or he was that.
Right.
But from what I heard from the schools, he's a smart kid, he's a good kid. I ain't hear shit about he had any mental issues. Why in the fuck would that kid go put himself in that damn washing machine?
Right.
Don't make sense to me.
I remember when I first heard that story, I was like, wait, they found him where? I'm like, wait a minute. That don't sound right to me.
Right.
It don't. That does not sound right to me.
And when the father got home, he said he never seen the kid. The father got home at 12.
Right.
But they didn't report him missing till 5 a.m.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But in the article, they also say that they realized he was missing around 4. But the father said he never saw him when he got home. So that could mean he never even looked for him. He could have thought he was just in bed asleep.
Yes.
So I'll be listening to the wordplay.
Right. And then my question would then be, when you discovered him missing, how did that come about? You know what I mean? Like, we're talking 4 a.m. You know what I mean? If you thought he was asleep at 12, hell, you're going to think he's asleep at 4.
Exactly. Oh, my God. Exactly. Like, now, there are great parents out there that go and check on their kids in the middle of the night, right?
Yeah,
I don't believe that was the case here. I don't believe that was the case here.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? 4 o'clock in the morning, that's when you realize your kid is missing, when you supposedly know he's in his bed sleep.
Right.
Why you go check on him?
I remember when I was working night audit, you know, it would be some nights, you know, I got off early. Now, during that time, yeah, I'm checking on my kids.
Right.
Coming through the door.
Right.
You understand what I mean? So I would have looked at it a little different had he said when I got there at 12, he was missing. Like I went to look for him at 12 when I got there, and he was missing. Not you got there at 12, because then my question would be, did you see him at 12? And if not, what made you go look for him at 4?
I don't think he would have looked for him. I think the mother did that, because let me tell you why. She was the one that was home with him before the father got off from work. So when he got home and she wasn't there, where were you? Okay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Was that little boy in that washing machine at that time? Or did you sneak him back in the house when your husband went to sleep and put him in the washing machine? Of course, the father ain't gonna think nothing. Oh, something's wrong. My little boy missing. So he ain't go looking through the house for the little boy. So he could have went to sleep. She got her ass up wherever he was originally. She wouldn't put him in the washing machine or had somebody else do it. I don't know. Or he could have been in the washing machine that whole entire fucking time.
That's what I would think, because I can't see like them leaving the house only for her to bring him back to put him in the washer.
Right.
That don't make sense. He never left the home. Is what it sounds like to me.
Where did she go?
Now I don't know where she went. Maybe she went to clean. Maybe she got rid of some other stuff.
Yeah, that's an idea.
You know, maybe she went to, you know, ditch something else. Yeah. And then that, what it sounded like to me is that was her way of hiding him. Well, matter of fact, let me clear that up, because I don't know if she did anything to him. But,
allegedly.
Allegedly, let's use that word, okay? Yeah. So I mean, because I heard them say that the washer was in the garage.
Right.
So maybe they thought that if and when they called the police ain't gonna check there.
Exactly. Of course they thought, no, they ain't gonna never check there. And if they would have left their house, without checking that washing machine, they would have never found that boy.
Right.
Because they would have moved him.
Yeah.
They would have took him somewhere and probably burnt his body up.
Something like that. Yeah. That's crazy to me. Crazy.
Yeah.
You know, but I just, you know, just as a parent, now I know these are adoptive parents, but they take these kids, you know, like Double Rainbow said, that it's supposed to be a better life for them.
Right.
You know, but now I don't think the background checks are as good as they should be when it comes to that. But these kids are going to these adoptive parents, and they, I mean, meeting their fate there. That's crazy.
And in another news article on the video that I actually did too, they did state at the end that they do have a history, but they can't put that out there because right now they're not suspects. So the fact that they said that, I'm pretty sure their history is fucked up when it comes to these kids.
Yeah. And you have to understand too, a lot of these people, these adoptive kids are just money for them. It's just another check.
Right.
This ain't about loving them, making it a better way for them. It's about the money.
The money. Yep. And
so they're not valuing their lives like they should.
Absolutely.
And it's unfortunate, you know, that we have people out here that'll go that far for the money.
Sad. And especially if you get one of those kids, like Buddy say, that's rambunctious.
Right.
And they start getting on your nerves, and you like, I don't want to turn them in because I want to keep getting.
I want to
this
keep
check.
the money.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'll just off this motherfucker. Excuse me, I ain't even say it like that.
Yeah.
I'll just off them. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they gonna do checks. They at least they supposed to, right?
I mean, yeah. They
So
should.
what are you gonna do when they come check and look for this kid? So to me, especially when it comes to Orrin and Orson, because I feel like he didn't want them kids no more. I don't think he really wanted them.
Right.
If you know that they're gonna eventually check, why would you kill those kids or get rid of them? Whatever you did to them,
And see, that's
instead of
what
just
makes-
giving them back.
Right. And that's what makes me think that in these circumstances or in these situations, that it may not have been intentional. And then that goes back to, you know, that's double back to the whole panicking and things like that. Because I mean, I think the same way you think. If you feel like you cannot take care of these kids to the best of your abilities, then give them back.
Yeah,
You know, because all of them, well, I ain't gonna say all of them, but majority of them have been in situations where there's a reason why they're not with their biological parents. And then you turn around and get them in your space and this is what you do?
Right.
This is what you allow to happen? Oh man.
Sad. Sad.
But like I said, I think it's for most of them it's about the money.
Yeah.
Wonder how many adoptive parents we would have if they had to do it for free. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, once you adopt them, they're your kids.
They're yours.
We don't pay you nothing.
Right.
They're your responsibility. I
Let's
think
see
the
how many
numbers
we'll
of
have.
adoptive parents will go down.
Yeah. Let's see how many we'll have. Because like I said, I think a lot of it is it's about the money.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. That's something they need to look into, to be honest with you.
For real, they do.
Maybe changing that. Like, look, if you're gonna adopt them because you can't have kids or you love kids, then we shouldn't have to fucking pay you to do
We
this.
shouldn't have to pay you.
Right.
Now, it's one thing when you have these foster homes, because, you know, my aunt, she did that at one point in time. That's different because their stay is temporary.
Right.
You understand? So I get you paying these adoptive parents in that situation. But when you get to the point where you say, I want to adopt them, I mean, ain't nobody helping me with my kids. They're yours. You understand what I'm saying? They're yours now.
Right.
You know, so why should we have to continue to pay you?
You're right. You're absolutely right. So there's a difference in being, you know, foster and adopted. Like you adopt, that means you want these kids as they
You want them.
be yours.
Absolutely. And so you should be responsible for them across the board. We shouldn't have to give you anything.
Absolutely.
You know, I think it will eliminate a lot of the people who are doing it just for the money.
Double Rainbow, you say you think the West intentionally changed the boy's name for sinister reasons. I gotta hear this. You gotta tell me what reasons was that, Double R. I gotta hear that one. Cause I mean, you know, Sincere, Classic, Orrin, Orson. Is there a meaning to Orrin and Orson or something that I might have missed?
Yeah, I might have missed that too. But yeah, I don't really know about that part. Yeah. As far as, you know, the changing of the names.
I wasn't gonna stay up here real long. Just want to just put this out there. You know,
Yeah.
saying, just in case, you know, anybody else was feeling the same way I was feeling, because it's like these kids are going missing, or people in general are going missing and not being found. Like what's the young lady name not from Texas? She's from San Diego but went to Texas. Felicia.
Felicia, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Still haven't found her.
No.
Nikayla, still haven't found her. Alexis, still haven't found her. What's the guy name out of Arizona? Daniel Robinson, still haven't found him.
Yeah, that's another, like, yeah, that case had me scratching my head.
Yeah, and if they do find them, they don't have a killer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, damn if I do, damn if I don't. And it's crazy, man. I feel like it's. I mean, we know about human trafficking, and we know that's real. If it exists and it's happening, it got to be, of course, from higher powers. It can't be just no regular citizen with a bunch of people as a unit working together to do this, because eventually they will get caught. Because we done seen a lot of human trafficking circles get jammed up. But for these ones we can't find, I think that's in a whole nother organization. That's just how I feel. That's how I feel. And I could be wrong, but that's just how I feel.
Right. I mean, you know, because it is crazy that we have a lot of people missing, you know. And for me, I just think, you know, we got some evil people out here.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
You know, they on the prowl. They preying on people who are not paying attention. They're preying on the kids who can't defend themselves. You know, they walk amongst us. You know, so I mean, there could be some higher entity, you know, taking part in these missing people, which, you know, we know, like you said, we know about human trafficking and things like that. But, you know, I don't know. It's heartbreaking because, like I said, we just got some evil people walking amongst us. You know, and yeah, yeah, buddy. I mean, it's unbelievable how many people are coming up missing, and that's why, you know, I had just come from vacation. You know, we were down in Florida, and my whole thing was stay together.
Right.
I don't want nobody walking off. You know, none of that. Stay together. It's harder to take a group than it is one individual.
Absolutely. Yeah, especially when it comes to black kids. You ain't gonna take all of us, nigga.
Yeah, you ain't gonna get all of them. You might get one. Some of us gonna make it back to the house, okay? Some of us going to tell it. We're going to tell it. But, you know, that's why, you know, it's just important that you stay together.
Absolutely.
You know, and watch out for your kids, because if you know, they're young, they're vulnerable, they don't have the strength to fight off a grown evil person.
Right. Absolutely.
You know? Absolutely. It's sad that, you know, we got people out here that's preying on them. Yeah. It's a sickness. It really is.
I feel really is. Just like I feel about, you know, people who like mess with these little kids. They say that's a sickness. If it can't be goddamn cured, they need to go to an island and put them where the rest of them at.
Yeah, really.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't no kids there, just them. Let's see how they survive then.
Yeah, I'm with that. I'm with that. I really am. Because I don't have no love for anybody who has done harm to a child. Anybody for that matter, but definitely children. Definitely.
I don't know how that's a sickness, but if they want to put a name on it, y'all go ahead. You fuck with mine, it'll be the end of your sickness. I swear to God.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's just like that Nilo Lattimore case. You know, Deshaun Brown. You know, now all of a sudden they're like, oh, he has mental issues. I'm like, oh wow, okay, I get that, but I'm still talking about hang him. You understand what I mean? Like, put him under the jail.
Yeah.
I don't care nothing about none of that. And I know that may be wrong, but you know, you took the life of a child and then you threw him off a bridge.
Yeah, that ain't
really?
Wrong. What he did was wrong. Shit. Damn.
You know? And it's like they look normal. That's the scary part.
I'm always side on what's right. I don't care if it sounds harsh and how I feel they should be punished. Well, what you do depends on your punishment, and if it has anything to do with elderly and kids, you need to be punished to the max. God damn it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do. I agree with that. You know, because like I said, we're dealing with people who can't defend themselves.
Right. Exactly. You're a coward to mess with those type of people.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I definitely appreciate you for tuning in with me. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. And
You're welcome, boss.
And y'all stay tuned, man. We'll be back with a roundtable update soon. So y'all
real soon.
Get ready, cause we coming. I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a good one.